Hey guys, it's Andy from MagooInvesting. Happy Monday. Today we're going to be talking about a company that is super important when it comes to Monday mornings, and that's Starbucks and coffee. And I can't live without coffee. Don't usually buy Starbucks, but today we're going to be talking about the company and the charts for Starbucks. And so in this series about the Robinhood Top Stocks, we've talked about some really good companies in Zynga, and we've talked about some really poor ones with GoPro and with Chesapeake Energy from last week. And compared to those, Starbucks is a home run. And so Starbucks was one of these companies that when I first started out investing, it's something that I kind of was drawn to, mainly because I knew the company, it was something reliable. I knew it wasn't just going to drop 75% in one day. It's a company that's going to be around for a while, I grew up with, and I assume it'll be here in the future. And so I just took a look on TD Ameritrade at the past charting that I had for it from last year, back in June. And since then, I had no idea how much the stock price has skyrocketed since then. I'm really impressed. It's had kind of a comeback or pullback from its highs a couple months ago, and it's looking to see like it could be a potential play in the future. And before we talk about any plays, I got to say that I am not a professional financial advisor, so I'd highly recommend talking to someone that is getting paid to do this, someone that can help you find the best places to put your money and not just listen to some guy from the internet. And so in this video, we're going to hop over on the computer in a little bit. I'm going to talk about any short-term and long-term potential plays I may see and just kind of talk about the stock in general, do some technical analysis, and we're going to be breaking out a new tool that I have not used on this channel yet, and that is the Fibonacci retracement. Not something I know a lot about, but the tool is on TD Ameritrade. I kind of understand the basics of it, and I'm going to introduce it today so maybe you can use it in your trades going forward. So with that being said, let's hop on over to the computer and let's talk about Starbucks, ticker symbol SBUX. And we're back talking about Starbucks today with the 100 most popular stocks on Robinhood currently. Today we're going to have to go down a little bit, going down, and where is it? Oh, I went a little too far. There it is, Starbucks, ticker symbol SBUX, with 88,000 people owning the stock and a 31% buy rating from Robinhood. As we go over here, down a little bit on the day, week's been pretty flat, month is down almost 6%. Same with the 3-month, and the 1 year is up 47%, and 5-year 132%, so pretty good. Today we're going to head on over to TD Ameritrade and let's talk about what I see. I always start off on the 180-day 4-hour chart because that's my favorite chart for the swing trades that I usually take, but for this these types of videos, I'm going to go back a little further because I know some people want the longer term trades and some people are a swing trader like myself. So from here, look, things look pretty decent, pushed up to almost $100, and it's currently sitting at $86. So let's go back a little bit to the 10-year 1 day, and you can see that I have some chart markings on here, and this is from June and July of last year, which is, I think I took a trade at around not $32, guess it didn't get that low. I took a trade in here somewhere, wasn't super profitable, nothing to really talk about, but it was pretty horizontal for a while, then earnings came, pushed it up, a little pullback, and it's been going up ever since. So the first thing that I'm looking at right now is a potential Fibonacci retracement, and basically you use that when a stock has been pushing up pretty fast and you're looking to see where maybe it'll bounce and recover from. So sometimes you can drop from all the way at the bottom. I like to go from the beginning of the current bull run where it went up here and then it pulled back and hung out here, consolidated, and then pushed up to where we are today. So I'm going to draw that from here at $60, go up to the high of almost $100, and what do we see? This looks like it could be a Fibonacci retracement. And so I am nowhere near an expert on Fibonacci retracements. There's something that I've kind of looked at in the past, haven't really traded them, but this looks like a pretty solid Fibonacci retracement, where it pushed up in the past, it's come down, it started retesting this at 23.6% of its high, or down from its high, and now we're at 38.2%. And so based off of this chart, it looks like it's respecting that level a little bit, and it may be pushing up from here. The only problem I have with Fibonacci retracements is how do you know when it's going to bounce here? It could go down to 50. You really don't know. So you got to be really careful taking positions from a retracement like this and have a stop loss set below that in case it falls. Because if you took a trade here and you saw this as a retracement and it's kind of hovering around here for a little bit and then it just slides even further. So you got to be wary about that. It's not as set in stone as a normal horizontal support and resistance, but this is another type of support and resistance that a lot of people trade. So that's why I kind of bring it up. And now to talk about any short or long-term potential plays I see here. I do see potentially taking this as a Fibonacci retracement, as I just mentioned. If it breaks below that level, you have to cut losses fast because you really don't know which level it's going to come back to. Zooming out a little bit, let's go back a little bit, and it's been pushing up ever since we can see the charts. At the very beginning, $9.35, currently sitting at $86, so that's great. One of the things that I've talked about on this channel before is I do not like taking positions in stocks that are near an all-time high. And while there's definitely, it's 38% from the high, it reached this high, almost scary how fast it went from $47 up to $100. And so that kind of worries me a little bit for a long-term play. For a short or medium-term play, I do like the Fibonacci retracement. This seems like it could be a decent support, something I'll be watching in the future. But besides that, when a stock moves up this fast, it doesn't set up a lot of great support and resistance lines, and it makes me less confident in taking a trade. And finally, let's go see what the professionals say about Starbucks. On Robinhood, as I mentioned, almost 70% hold, and the rest are in buy, 0% in sell. Then we go to the forecast, and for a low end, pretty surprised that it has it almost horizontal. For the next 12 months, the low end down 2%, and then the high end is 30%. So compared to some of the stocks we've talked about, Chesapeake Energy really comes to mind with the plus 200% as the upper end of its forecast. Starbucks, while it's almost doubled since its lows, probably won't be happening anytime soon, but 30% is an incredible return on a company that is well known and isn't going to disappear anytime soon. It's already up 34% on the year, and it's come down a decent amount from the high of almost $100. Based off the Fibonacci retracement, it's down almost probably 35%, so that's pretty nice. It's not near the all-time high. And then on Yahoo, it has it as overvalued, but has it as an analyst recommendation for a buy. Short term, no recommendation, down in the medium term, and up in the long term. So it's kind of opposite of the way I have been thinking about Starbucks, where I think it's a decent swing trade for a Fibonacci retracement, and then long term kind of worries me a little bit because it's moved up so quickly. So overall, Starbucks is not the worst chart I've seen recently. It's a little overextended currently compared to just a year ago, and it's gone from in the 20s to almost hitting 100, and now let me peek over there. Now it's sitting at around $85. So that's a lot of movement in around a year. So that kind of worries me a little bit. Long term, it's kind of got that track record of doing decent, but before June, it had been sliding for a little bit, so that's kind of something to think about. So for a long-term play for myself, I'd be a little cautious. It seems a little overextended, but with the shorter-term swing trade, kind of intriguing me with the Fibonacci retracement. It's not something that I've played a lot in the past. I've paper traded it, but maybe this will be the stock that'll come out and maybe give it a shot on my real account. Currently, I'm sitting in Tesla, and I'm thinking about selling those shares before the upcoming earnings, and that would free up some capital that I could move into Starbucks. But not guaranteed that I'll do something like that. It's just kind of, it's an option, and I'm going to weigh my options this upcoming week before earnings and make a decision about it. Another thing that Starbucks has going for it, it's got a little bit of a dividend, nothing crazy compared to AT&T like we talked about, I guess that was a week and a half ago. And so it's nothing crazy like that, but it's just something to take into account. Maybe you won't be getting as good returns on the charts as you were expecting, and maybe that's because the dividends are kicking in a little bit. Just something to think about. But long term, a little cautious on Starbucks as it's been moving up too fast, and I'd be a little worried about that. And in the short term, I do kind of like the Fibonacci play. It's not something I've tried in the past, but it may be something that's worth giving a shot with a company that I trust in Starbucks. And then finally, the analysts are kind of torn on what to do with Starbucks. You have the price forecasts that are very bullish. You have Robinhood that has it as a 65% hold and the rest is in buy. And then Yahoo Finance has it as a good long-term play, not a great medium-term play, which I kind of disagree with the Fibonacci retracement. But overall, they do have it as a buy. So Starbucks is a type of company where if I added it to my portfolio right now, I would not be that upset about it, but it may not be something that I'll be looking to take a long-term position in just because it's a little overextended, and that worries me a little bit. So let me know what you guys think about Starbucks, if you've traded it in the past, and if it's part of your portfolio right now. And if there's any companies or ideas you'd like me to talk about in a future video, please leave them in the comment section down below because I'd love to go over them. And thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.